Hi,
instruments.
yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Hey, everybody, welcome Adventures for Connection and Tanya Powell here with Roland today. And Roland and I know each other from Mind Valley days, which feels like decades ago, but it was only a few years ago. So as we shift and ebb and tide in this world, Roland does a beautiful job. He's the founder of Becoming International, a platform helping locally established speakers step onto the global stage. He empowers heart-led leaders to own their value, follow their soul's calling, and connect with the worldwide opportunities they're meant for. A three-time best-selling author and international speaker, Roland brings a rare angle to every stage, weaving his original songs and guitar into his talks. He has shared the platform with Robin Sharma, Robert Kiyosaki, and Jack Canfield, and lives by the belief that different is better than better. Welcome.
Hello, Tanya. It's great to be here. Great to see you
Yeah,
again.
yeah, absolutely. You know, I think I'm going to jump right in with a recent post I saw of yours because it keeps looming here. So it's like, okay, that's the first thing that you went on a little adventure because we are adventures for connection. So tell me about this adventure you went on for connection.
Oh yeah, this past year has been full of a lot of adventures and travels and all that. As a year ago, we started this project around becoming international, and so I've been traveling a lot. So the one you're referring to is I had an idea to go to Sweden to meet up with a couple of my friends there, and the thing was that it didn't make much sense. Like especially the travel there. There's with flights, it didn't work out because it's midsummer and in Estonia and Europe in general, they're more in like getting into vacation time. So they reduced some of the flights, and it like getting to the place that I wanted to get was like it's not really gonna I'm not gonna make it work, and so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go. But then one of my friends said, well, you could fly there and we can go there together and all that. So okay, let's do that, and and so I ended up flying to Copenhagen, where we did a 5-hour drive to get to the place that we met with some other people in Sweden, and it was a really nice location. It was like it was a friend of ours bought a place that was his childhood dream, uh, and it was very remote. There's no neighbors anywhere close, and there's a beautiful lake, and we having this good time over the company there, and they're all like speakers, coaches in that space, and
Beautiful.
and one of them specifically were one of Sweden's most successful business coaches, and at some point, a friend of mine who invited us to go there is like, well, can you do a coaching for her, because she wants to actually go to international markets. She's so far only in the local market. And I was like, sure, like, I can do that. At the same time, mind is kind of going like, well, she's actually pretty successful. Like, what do I have to offer to her? Sometimes mind talks tricks into.
Yes.
And but I ended up still doing that, just following my guidance. Brought out my guitar, played some music, opened up. It's always helping to open up your heart, kind of, and also connect with your intuition. So that's kind of good connection. Helps you connect with yourself and with this universe and everything. And then I just started to ask her questions, and turns out she's built a really successful thing in a local market in Sweden. And she was really like, how can I let go of that? I feel that in a way that I want to go to the international, but what would I do with that? and and then at some point, me going back and forth with all of those things, I just stepped up, went behind her, and kind of asked the question, if uh, if you want to keep on that, because I really feel that this is something that your mind is holding on to, and I would literally put my hands on her head and like knocked here, and then also kind of said, what would your soul want to say to you? Like if the soul has the decision or way to decide, it's like, well, it's going to the international. There's no question about it. and and it was funny also that she told when I kind of tapped her into this place, she said that she felt that she had like this helmet on her head, and then, and at that moment I was like, literally tapping there. It got released, and so she felt this release, and so I did another song that is actually letting go is the name of the song, so I helped to let her go what's holding her back, and afterwards she was like super, like huge transformation happened, and she felt how she can let go, and she feels this sparkling energy towards where the soul is really taking her, and she was in tears and like really grateful and thanking me and all that, and it was such a magical moment, and it actually opened up something that I realized something that is my unique value that I bring on, and I got like a missing puzzle piece on that, because in many cases what I'm doing is it's hard to kind of put your like hands around it or what exactly it is, but what I'm really helping to do, so that's why I changed my description also, and or bios a little bit, and saying that I'm helping uh, this leaders to connect with their soul and be led by the soul and not their mind, and then take on the path that they're really looking forward to take on, and it was a really powerful representation of that what happened there, and now I'm bringing that with me, and then taking that to even further. So it was really magical set up there, and then afterwards, of course, I was like, there there was no question why I had to be there, because she also joined one of our events that is coming up in beginning of July in Estonia, and possibly also we're going to talk about her being part of our mastermind and helping her on a bigger level to get to the international market. So it's really just the short lesson here is that whenever your mind is telling you that you shouldn't do that, or it doesn't make much sense, but on some level your soul saying or your intuition is telling you that you should go, then trust the intuition. Go.
Right, right. And I think we're really in a time and space, and this story applies to everybody. It applies because we all are at this transition point
Yeah.
where we have some big decisions to make because we can't continue the way we have been. We've
Yes.
been in this, chaotic point in the world, so to speak, depending on how you look at it. And for me, chaos is just great change. And
Yeah.
so it can be utilized to your advantage. And remembering that we often hold on to, and I'm guilty too, hold on to what we already know and what has been successful, and it's hard to let that go and then bridge into the new. It takes transition, and it takes testing yourself, and it takes moving past possibly a little bit of fear or uncertainty. But that's just because it's not known yet. So you got to get really comfortable in the unknown, which is in its own way a gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell us where in the world you are right now.
My base is in Estonia. It's a small country in Eastern Northern Europe, south from Finland, and we have Russia on our east border. Only 1.3 million people, so it's so that's also a fascinating thing. What I find, like especially with countries like ours and countries here around, if we're talking about expanding or going to bigger markets, there's this baggage we're carrying with us that, whoa, I'm coming from a small country. I have, who am I to like play a bigger game? And
Mm,
so it's an interesting thing that I see that there's been so many layers that I personally have had to go through in order to step up on this international stage and stand my ground and say that I'm an international speaker, and I can play on this international playground and be like as anyone in the world, and or even better in many cases. So it's been a huge leap in terms of taking that journey. And just to give a perspective, I was born 84, so we were still in Soviet Union. um, so thinking of like what are your outcomes from
mm,
that upbringing. And I remember I've been to US many times, and attended a lot of events and done a lot of different things there. And I was always find fascinating when I speak with many entrepreneurial people in US, and they say, oh, my grandfather was this real estate investor and they had this business. And I was like, my grandfather was sent to Siberia. It was like, until Estonia got its independence, it was illegal to have a business. Like until 1991, it was illegal to have a business or own anything. You couldn't own anything. So that's kind of, and it was dangerous to stand out. It was dangerous to be outstanding or like shine, because you were either sent to Siberia, or in worst case you could be even killed. And in my my grand aunt's sister was literally killed. I didn't know about that. My mother told that a few years ago, and she was a school teacher. And we've been under different like regimes. We've been under Germans and under Russians and all that. And whichever way, I don't remember, that it shifted. So she was on one side that told the wrong thing as a school teacher. And was it Russian or German? It doesn't matter, but she was killed. Like literally.
Wow.
That's where my background is like, you can't be seen because it's dangerous.
Right.
And you can't do business because that's illegal.
Right.
So I was born into that environment. So
Yeah.
imagine, and it's a 1.3 million people country. So imagine, like, being born there, like what's the outlook like? Oh, one day I'm gonna be this international speaker traveling the world. Or like, I remember 9 years old, it was the time where the first things from West kind of started to come to us. So we got the movies and things like that, and we borrowed a VHS tape player, and I remember I had two movies. Imagine now, like I had two movies and some Tom and Jerry cartoons. That's all. And so I was like repeating all those two movies, and one of them was Sylvester Stallone's Cobra, and the other was Arnold Schwarzenegger's Commando. and then I was like, at some point, like I was like kind of, I would want another movie. So we went to this. We had this market where they sold like pirate copies of different things from West movies and stuff. And so I bought our first movie, and it was Jean-Claude Van Damme's. It was what was that? Like some soldier. I don't remember what was that. Anyways, it was with Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme. I don't remember the name of the movie at the moment. Anyways, I was looking at the movie, but imagine someone telling me there, Estonia just got its independence. I'm watching the movie that in 5 years, it was in 25 years or 20 years, you're gonna be speaking at event and sharing the stage with Jean-Claude Van Damme. If someone would have told that to my 9-year-old version, I would like, it's like there's no way that happening. But that happened 2015. I did my first ever international speaking opportunity. It happened in Kazakhstan, funny enough, in another post-Soviet country. And I was sharing the stage with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I had a picture with him afterwards and all that. So it's been a journey. You asked about the country. It's kind of long answer, but I felt that's kind of important to give the context where I'm coming from and how big of a difference it is that I'm now like doing things internationally.
Right. Yeah. And the child bringing, like, we carry everything in our DNA, whether or not we're conscious of it. But as you go through life, you kind of hit these, I don't want to say blocks, but they're it's the edge of your expansion. And sometimes that's contained by even your mother or father or great aunt, right? And then once you push past that, it's like, oh, another milestone. And then you keep going, and you hit another resistant point where you were like, why am I going to this? But you went anyway, and look what happened. So it's trusting. Yeah, it's all that trusting yourself no matter what's happening, because everything's always, there's no mistakes. They're just mistakes. Like the movies, you can take it again. So it's just all part of the adventure. Yeah, yeah, beautiful. I have a few questions prepared, so let's dig into those.
Awesome.
And
Let's do that.
yeah, all right. I really want to tap into the guitar because that's one of your different is better. So let's talk a little bit about that. You live by different is better than better. Where did that come from? And there's a stretch of your life where you were chasing better before you understood that. And was there a stretch of your life?
Mm. Yeah, well, the different is better and they're better. That is kind of recent message I really took with me, and Lewis House who shared that at one of his talks, and the point of that it really is that whatever you do, it's important to uniquely be you and authentically you, and if you're authentically you, you are somehow or some way different, and it's important to understand what is the difference. And in
Mhm.
that sense, the different is better than better, and I think a good representation of that is also, uh, let's take an example. It was just recently, a couple of months ago, I was in Italy, in Pisa, and there's the Leaning Tower. And if you look at the tower itself, like it's not like a architectural masterpiece that's the best in world, but millions of people are visiting it because it's different. it's it's leaning, and that is like something to also have in mind with your, with whoever like is doing whatever you're doing, is like, what is my difference and what is my unique angle I bring in on the world. And for me, it's I am combining singing with speaking, and I bring that onto stages all over the world. And that's another like longer story. How did I get to sing, and how did that happen? I started music when I was in high school. I started playing guitar. We had a band and all that, but I started singing only 10 years ago, where I found a voice teacher in the US at an event. And I, until that point, I thought I cannot sing. And there was this transformational moment where I made the voice lessons with her, and then she, and kind of next morning I was doing the voice exercise. I'm feeling something's different. I'm like, what's going on here? And I play guitar and sing, and I'm like, something feels totally different, because before I was kind of, I could kind of sing along with a song and almost feel that I'm on key. But whenever I started to sing alone, there's no background, I was off the key right away. And I'm
Mm.
feeling like something's different, and like, I put my guitar away, I sing along the song, still feels something different. And then I'm like, okay, I'll try to sing something a cappella with no background, anything. I
Mm.
haven't I haven't been able to do that. And I start singing, and I'm like, I'm staying on the key. Like, what's going on here? And I remember being in my bedroom and just literally in tears, because 31 years I had this belief I cannot sing, and this one voice lesson changed that belief. It didn't mean right away that I'm a singer. I could like sing, but I was like, at least I could, at one song that I was singing, I was on the key, which was a new thing for me when I was singing alone. And then I brought that with me and started creating songs, and gave out a music album. It's on Spotify, Better You, by my name. You can find 12 different songs that are all based on different personal growth stuff that I've been put into the songs, that kind of help you reprogram your subconscious. And now I'm bringing that
Mhm.
all to stages, when I'm going on stages. And that's something that makes me different. And I often ask the question, like, how many of you know some famous singers? And hands go up. How many of you know some famous speakers? A lot of hands go up. But if I ask the question, how many of you know someone famous who does both? Then now lately, uh, some people raise their hand and say, I know one. It's you.
You
So,
got
but in
support.
that category, there's really not competition. And I can be unique and different in that sense without being the best possible singer in the world or best possible speaker in the world. But combining some things together, and being different, makes me best in what I do.
Absolutely. And what does a song reach in the room that speaking can't?
Well, music is something very fascinating, and I found out actually with when I went to psychic woman who can see energetic stuff. And after a retreat I was speaking and singing at, I went right like a day after that. I went to meet her, and I'd seen her before as well. And this time I go to her, sit down, and she's like, "What have you done?" Like, and I was like, "Is something wrong with me? Like, what what do you mean?" No, 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 in a good way. What have you done? It's like, well, I was singing and speaking at this retreat. So okay, that makes sense, because your heart is like super opened, and it's like just this energy is like flowing, and she can see that. And I was, "Oh, okay." And it's like, so oh, you were playing guitar. Oh, that's interesting. Because and she told that guitar music specifically, if you play it in some rhythmic way, it's actually helping with digestion and emotional digestion. So if
Mhm.
whenever you have like some sort of things, the blockages, this helps you kind of open it up. And the other thing that especially guitar music and singing is doing is it's really opening your heart. So it's you feel this like expanded feeling that, like, oh my god, it's like it's so good. And I feel, there's more possibilities. And at the same time, it also opens up your crown chakra into intuition, and it combines and connects that together. So with music, you naturally go into feeling where you feel there's more possibilities, and it also
Mm.
opens up more emotions. And I remember one, just an example, uh, at one retreat we did for entrepreneurs. We had a woman on a hot seat, and we're working on her, and see that she's a lot in her mind. Like lots of people that they have the challenge that they're too much into their thinking and mind, and they couldn't go into like the intuition or the heart side. And I could see that, and I had this strong feel that I had to bring up the guitar. And middle of her talking, I go and grab my guitar and start playing, and in 30 seconds she's in tears. Because it's just opens it up, and it's kind of you just tap into that, and and this emotions open up, and your heart opens up, and you get vulnerable. And that's something that music is doing, especially when and then I also get people to sing along. So this means that they open up their heart even more, and connect with the intuition. So they start to experience and feel that some new possibilities, some new ideas coming to them, some new insights coming to them that wouldn't come with just the talking part. And what I love the most about it, and in most cases I don't even tell people that part, that I'm opening your heart and connecting with, it's just
Right.
happening. I don't have to tell that.
And
It's
but that's
happening
the
naturally.
magic, because now you're not speaking to the mind, because they're only gonna
Yeah,
hear it in here. So
yeah.
it's that feeling, and, oh, that's super beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
for
so
sharing
so
that.
in Italy just recently, I was doing like this was spontaneous. That everyone was, oh, you have a guitar, with like let play some songs. I wasn't in the part of the program like doing it, so I just bring up
Mm.
my guitar and start singing. And then with one song, so what I do with the songs is that I go into the song, and at some point I put them singing along as well. And but at some point I let them, everyone who's in the audience, I let them close their eyes, and I get them into this journey when I play the music on the background, and I start like guiding with my uh, with my with my voice, and with just with words, like uh, doing this sort of like journey, and being really tapped into what are the words that want to come out. I'm not thinking of what I want to say, and just letting it come through me. And then I did that part, and then started to sing again, and everybody singing along. And I was full. It was someone recorded that, which is cool. It's awesome. I got to see that myself later, and I was my eyes closed all the time, so I didn't see what was happening in the room. And and just singing, and finished that, and opened my eyes, and then it's one guy, and he's like, it's like can't have his like breath and all that. And it's like, well, what's going on here? He's like, oh, I don't know, like I just, so he couldn't put that into words. So next day I asked him, so what were you experiencing? I don't know, I felt my heart was like opening up totally, and I, I still can feel it. And this was some sort of opening. And this guy was exactly one of those who said, like, I'm a lot into my mind. I have a lot of my work is a lot into like doing things, and I'm very like analytical and in my mind. And now I felt this heart opening, and he really loves to listen to music. there's a reason of obviously why he loves to do that. And this kind of opened it up in a way. And I just recently actually asked, it was a couple of months ago, and he said it still has an effect. He still can feel that there's more opening that stayed with him. So it was, and I was just spontaneously doing something. I didn't like, it wasn't aimed to like, I'm doing you a like process here, or or I'm going to open your hearts. I was just singing, then just doing a guided journey that just wanted to come through me, and singing again, and then this happened. So that's what I love the most about bringing the music in, is that I can make the transformation happen for individuals in the room without like saying or telling that we're doing
Reprogramming them
it just
to have an
happens.
expectation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what's coming through right now for me is, as you're wanting to connect with the soul in people and bring it out, it's like your guitar tunes the frequency around you to get connected with your soul. So when you close your eyes and you just allow, it really opens it up beautifully. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it does the same thing for me as well. So that's also like us, because then I get to open my heart and get tapped into the intuition and the universe and everything. So I can guide people through whatever wants to come through me. So that also works for me in that sense.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a win-win. And Shay's saying yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Shay. Thank you. Yeah. And as we, sort of as we're going through, and we've been so programmed for a reason so we could break through these limitations, which it makes the adventure so much more fun in many ways, even though it doesn't feel like it in the moment sometimes. That we get to expand our consciousness as we go through, and realize that no two of us are even close to the same. So I'm a pretty big fan of sort of energy reading and building on that. And we've actually created something new here at Adventures for Connections to actually read people's energy and reflect back to them, using sacred geometry, numerology, and a bit of astrology, which gives us a beautiful picture of them. And quite often, they recognize the energy. So it's that same thing. It's that recognizing their own soul, to realize I don't have to perform the way others expect me to. I can perform in my own unique way. And there's nothing shameful about that. It's fear of being seen. You just got to start practicing, even with friends. I sing all the time in the woods, all the time. I'm
Wow.
connecting with the birds, the plants, the trees. Yeah. And um, the turtles. I was just over on a little spot on Salt Spring, and there's all this nature. It was an eagle across the lake. Like, it couldn't have asked for better. It was very idyllic. But just a
Yeah, well,
beautiful space.
nature even amplifies that, because it's the environment support. So
Yeah, they've all got their song. Like, I'm so in tune that I hear the birds wherever I go, and I'm picking up on they well, they open the bark on the trees to take in more oxygen. They open us up and let us know it's safe. So it's that dance with nature. And to me, numerology, and the reason I was saying that, is really about the sound, because every number has a frequency. And so even your name done as numerology shows a specific frequency that you are. And when you reflect that back to people, it can be quite beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
love
well,
what you're doing. What's
thank you.
next?
Well, before that, I actually wanted to comment one thing. So you
Yeah.
said everybody's unique, and I love it. I saw a video where someone asked Elon Musk, it's like, "Do you have competitors? Who are your competitors?" And he looked with a confused face, like, "What do you mean, like competitors?" And like, competitors, like, who want to compete with what you do as a business, and he still didn't understand, because it's like, I'm doing my thing, and I just like, I didn't even think of like anyone being competitor, or like, he's like, well, he's maybe there's someone who's like trying to keep up with what I'm doing, but he's doing his own thing. And the realization I had that moment is that if you're being authentically you, there is no competitors.
Mm-mm.
No one can compete with you. The reason people are feeling that they have competitors is because they try to be someone else.
Yes.
They're out of alignment of who they are, and then they feel that they're competing with someone, but they're competing with someone else. If they be authentic to themselves, there's no competitors.
Beautiful. Yeah. And it's an honor to witness that in others when they have that realization that, yeah, I do have a gift. I am unique. There is something I have to offer the world instead of playing small. And it doesn't mean that you need to go out and speak on stages. It could be as simple as giving back in your community or complimenting people when you're out in public. I know for sure my daughter used to be embarrassed by me because I would compliment people in public. Oh, I love your outfit or I love your shoes, right? Why are you talking to strangers? And then one day somebody complimented her. Oh, I know why you do that. Like, yes, just be a good human being. You don't have to perform for anybody. You just need to be you, and people will be attracted to that in itself. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
absolutely. And let's
It's,
see, I have one more final question.
well, you can
Oh, I
ask
got
it,
a couple.
what's next,
Oh, yeah, please. Thank
which I
you for
didn't answer.
reminding me.
um, well, there's this. It's fascinating. I feel that, what you said in the beginning of, well, this old is not working, and people are tapping into what's new and what's the next thing, and so that's so much. I see that so many people saying those kind of words along the lines that, what used to work doesn't work, and I don't know what's the new thing, or where should I go. And I've been on that journey for now over a year, where I've been kind of going to direction where I don't exactly know how it's all gonna work out or go, but I just know that it's the right direction to go. So all this becoming international was started with speakers and helping speakers to go to international markets because of my background, of my connections, what I have. I've been an event organizer for a long time, and we brought some big name speakers that you mentioned before as well. We brought many of them to Estonia. I had these big events. We had at some point even like 5% of the whole population of Estonia on a mailing list. So we've done like lots of these kind of things, and at some point I felt that I personally need to shift into new category, because I was more of like helping people get on the personal growth journey. So our mission was has been to bring out the potential of human beings, which is essentially what education should be doing, because the
Yes.
word education itself is coming from a Latin word called edus, which means to bring out potential.
Yeah.
And so that was like, we took that on as a mission. But now, past few years, I've been working more with speakers, coaches, and leaders and entrepreneurs, and I felt my role has shifted, and my role is help these leaders. And I in my intro as well, or bio, there was the outstandingly humble. So it's a concept that I'm bringing out, this where wherever you are leaned. So most people are a little bit out of alignment on one or another side. Like being humble, you can be too humble. Like, oh,
Yes.
it's like, I'm not that important, and I'm doing it for everyone else, and then let yourself be behind. And then you can be on too much on the outstanding side, where it's like all about ego and like, results, and I don't care how others feel and all that. But if you are able to align in a center, in harmony, then that's where you find this inner peace, and also this inner calling, what you should be doing in this world. And I feel lately that my role is helping these leaders get into that alignment, and then tap into what their soul really wants to express, create in this world right now. Because we are in so much mess at the moment in the world, and we need the leaders to step forward, to start going towards where they're supposed to be going. But so many people are still like holding on to a lot of things that used to work, or like that they're used to do, and not taking that leap, like the example that I shared in the beginning, the Swedish coach that is like, oh, this thing is working here, and how can I let go of that? But my soul really wants to go there. So they have this inner struggle. But when I help them to to tap into that like unlimited potential and possibilities with their soul, then this opens up. So it's actually fascinating. If you take like your mind, body, your emotions, these all categories, they're very important parts, but they're all limited at some level. Like there's some level you can go with your mind, your mindset, like whatever your thinking is, there's a limit there. With physical things, there's also like there's a height you can jump. There's, in whatever you do, you can't go higher. With the emotions also, you can become super resilient with your emotions and all that, but there's an extent where you can go with that. But then there's also spirit part or soul part, and that is unlimited. And if you are able to tap into that part, then there's things can open up that you are not even aware of that's possible, or that's you can't even have a belief about, like disbelief about it, because you don't even know that this kind of thing exists. and
Right.
that's where I feel my role is coming in at the moment, where I'm helping those leaders to tap into that unlimited potential that is available for them, if they're willing to go to the direction that their soul is wanting to take them, but they're not able to go there because whatever reasons, they're holding themselves back. And that's where, this music thing is kind of helping all of that to guide them through in a way that mind is like taken away from the path and get directly to the source. So that's where I'm heading more and more. And now we're also feel there's more and more work with coming with some entrepreneurs who want to bring some impact to the world in with what they do, and that's kind of direction I'm heading, and doing that internationally. Helping these leaders to step into their power.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I'll make sure that I get your Spotify post out below this later so I can share some of that music. And maybe next time we can have another chat and you can do some guitar live.
Yes, I can. I'm not sure how well it works. I know in Zoom there's a setting that I can put where
Let
it
me see
sounds
what I can
good.
do on my end. And actually, I know what to do. So yeah, let's be impromptu.
Okay, I'll bring my guitar then. All right.
Beautiful. Yeah, it sounds great.
And when I speak or sing to it, is it fine as well?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if you are doing what you're supposed to do, you will be taken care of by life. If you are doing what you're supposed to do, you will be taken care of by life. If you are doing what you're supposed to do, you will be taken care of by life. I'm just currently playing the chorus part of it, and if you could want, I could do more, but for the sake of the live, I'll just do the chorus part.
Yeah. Beautiful. I could feel it right here. And then right away my body's like, you're gonna just like rock back and forth for a minute. So awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. How about you in the audience? Shay, what'd you feel? Norman, Jean, anything? Yeah. Yeah, it's 9:43 here, so a lot of people are at work, but they'll be watching this later on. So thank you all for yeah, entertaining. See, Shay loved it. Yeah. She's a beautiful, intuitive, very tapped into spirit that is constantly rubbing up against reality, and trying to do her old way of being, and it's time to just so this was a very important message for her today. She's definitely loving it and very happy about it. Yeah, key of heart. Yeah, yeah. So let
Beautiful.
us know whether you're watching this later too, if something really you felt something in your body because one one cannot operate anymore from the mind. Yes, the mind's a beautiful tool and being in balance on both sides of the hemisphere, um, and being connected to the body. Your body's always speaking to you. And we've forgotten that. We came in to have this experience with this body. And it's beautiful to witness when others are finding a way of embodying more, so to speak. And
Hmm.
really, that's bringing in more of your soul so that you're operating from a new level with that open heart. And
Yeah.
yeah, and trusting. Yeah. Even when you're in the unknown, still
Oh yeah.
trusting.
Yeah. There's so much of that at the moment, so it's there's no other way at the moment to start really connecting with your intuition and your soul, and start seeing what, how and when and which ways it's speaking to you, and then just going towards that. I was just had a fascinating conversation today with an entrepreneur from Estonia. They have created a great brand in Estonia around a um, nutrition or the supplement company, and they do it all natural and all that. And they actually want to enter the U.S. market. It's the company is called Ecosh, and they've already done some things there, but they haven't really figured it out yet. And I was inviting them to a meetup where we're going to meet with Ken Honda, who's from Japan, is the best-selling author there, is super famous and now on international markets as well. And Janet Atwood, who's my partner in the Becoming International, and she's a New York Times special. She has a lot of connections in US and so on. And we have a very private, small event with a few people coming up where we actually working with entrepreneurs who want to go to international. And I told them you should be there. And yesterday, last night, he sent me a message that, oh, we actually talked to my business partner and still decided not to come at the moment. And I have this strong feel that they have to be there. Like they just have to be there. And so this morning I sent him a 6 minute long voice message telling about how I really feel that they should be there. And I talked about this experience I just had in Sweden and what happened there, and how I just trusted the intuition, and I know when you're coming there, there's some possibilities opening up that you're not even aware of. And one of the reasoning they said is like, well, we still have to think of on our side what's the plan, and then we want to kind of work on that. But I told him that, well, you can think of the plan on your level of knowledge, what's available for you or your experience. But I'm bringing together people from all over the world who have like this wider experience. And as we come together with that energy, it's opening up. There's very likely that you come there, and whatever you're working on at the moment, you get this one insight there, and you can like just throw that idea into trash because
Yeah.
it becomes irrelevant. There's a new reality that can open up for you. And I sent him this message, and then he called me back like 5-6 hours later, and he's like, well, funny enough, this was the message was perfect because that was exactly what I was trying to tell to my business partner. And you put it in so good wording that now I had a call with my business partner, and we decided we both are coming. So
Yeah.
and then he was like, super happy and well, super good, and it's like, well, I'm glad that I trusted my intuition, because he already said no to coming there, and I still reached out that I really feel that you have to be there. and you not coming there is doing this service to you. And I know you have a great company and a great potential of doing a lot of good to the world. But if you're trying to figure it out on your own, you've only done the business in Estonia, and you've done it from a great place. And I know you have a great intention, and you can come up with like very heart-centered plan. But this could be a very hard journey or very long journey getting out there if you don't have that context and
Yeah.
contacts that these
Yeah.
people in worldwide scene have. And so again, like just a good example of like trusting your intuition, even if someone says no, and then I just shared from my soul level what I feel, and that's where they made the decision to come. So
Yeah.
I really I just the past days I've been actually really fascinated, because after the Swedish thing that was very recent, I started to go. I even came up with like this selling from soul, the
Yes.
idea that people are resonating on that side, that you know, in normal sense, you're selling people, oh, you, if you do that, then you can get to this result. But I actually don't know exactly like what I'm selling in that sense, because I know I'm selling this unlimited potential where they can tap into. So I'm selling the idea that, are you ready, or are you willing to tap into that? And,
Yes.
and just trust that if you come there, we're gonna open it up in some way or another. And there's no way for me to promise you what exactly we're gonna do, because I have no clue what exactly is gonna come out of it.
Yes.
There's just no way I'm able to predict like exactly what's the outcome. But what I can tell, or what I can sell, is that is your soul feeling called, and does it feel that, you know, well, maybe that's the right place to do. And if it is, then trust that and take your mind away from it. So that's kind of interesting new way of selling that that
Right?
that I feel is emerging.
I've I've been in sales all my life. Retail, painting business, right?
Uh-huh.
Retreats and events. And I've always just said, go by how you feel. I don't care if you hire me. I just prefer you're educated, right? Like, I don't want you to hire me because I'm trying to sell you and like brainwash you or use sales tactics, because I can't
Mhm.
do that. I can be blunt, I can be honest, and I can share with you what I know to be true. And then you take it from there. Yeah. And Shay
Exactly.
says, Roland, you're so gifted.
Thanks, you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So
Thanks, Shay.
despite,
You've been so
despite,
supportive.
right? She is. So despite all the limitations that you had from where you grew up, man, you picked an interesting point to enter and place to enter. So despite all of that, you are now unfolding in beautiful ways and learning to trust your soul, spirit, and that everything is energy. So therefore, yeah, you're just trusting. And it's really beautiful to witness and hear your story. Yeah. Yeah. It's an honor. If somebody was looking to, after this call, what would be the one step or the one thing that you would say to them to get them going on their path?
Oh, that's a kind of broad question, but I would continuing on where we are. So uh, we're talking about the intuition and trusting more of that, and I know there's lots of people who are stuck really in their mind, and are
Yes.
stuck and like, how do I tap into this intuition thing? I remember just a few weeks ago I was in US in Denver, Colorado, and at an event there, and there was this one guy from UK, and he's like, well, I'm always being this logical guy, and if there's no logic of like things, then it's really hard for me to kind of go with the flow, or like trust the intuition. And it's like, what is that? Like, so, and I told him, well, you know, yours so far experience has shown you that, you know, it's safe for you to trust your mind and your logic, because that's where you have evidence in your life that this is working out.
Yes.
And the thing is that a friend of mine is a great speaker, Eric Admits. He has this saying that uh, beliefs are these animals who eat evidence. And so if you have enough evidence that something is working or not working, then your belief is stronger, getting stronger on that side. And the only way to start believing something else is get more evidence on that side. So I told this that you have enough evidence that your logic and your mind, that's the way you operate. You have a lot of evidence how this has been working out for you, but you don't have no other evidence than trusting the intuition or trusting this flow part of life, or just following the guidance. You don't have any evidence that this can work out, so you're not tapping into that. And at the same time, it's like, I really, I feel there's something new that it want to emerge from me, but I don't know exactly what that is. So if you're in that situation, the problem is that if you're not allowing your intuition to guide you, you put yourself in a trap. You try to figure it out, but it's impossible for you to come up with that, because you don't have this experience of this new thing where you have logic and where you exactly know how those go. You have to start experiment, but you're not willing to experiment because you want to know beforehand. so
Right.
so you're trapped there. And so it's like, so but what do I do then? So I told them, well, so we with this three-day retreat, and instead it was the first day, it's like, well, if your exercise today, and this is what's my advice to everyone else as well, if someone feels that they're really trapped in their mind and can't get to the heart level or intuition and all that. So I told him that your role here is to play intuition game. And how it goes is that whenever you feel that you should do something, then you just do it. Like if you feel that I should go and say something to someone, like give a compliment, or even like tell that this thing is not right, just go and tell that. If you feel that you need to change your seating, just do that. If you feel that you are in the middle of the session where it's like very inappropriate time, but you just feel that you need to go to the toilet, just do that. Like whatever it is
Right.
that you just trust that guidance that comes through. Is like, okay, I can do that. So I didn't speak with him the same day anymore. The next day at some point I was like, oh, so how's it going with this intuition game? He's like, I wanted to tell you, it's actually really fascinating. So this morning, there's every morning people were going on a walk trail, and so this day they went on cars and drove somewhere to go on this walking trail, and he was in his hotel, like getting ready to get there for walking and all that, and it was like getting time is getting he's getting out of time, and he's like kind of rushing and all that. And at some point, it's like, I don't feel like rushing at the moment. I feel like I just want to calm down and just do my things, get myself ready. And if I miss the walk, I'll miss the walk.
Yeah.
And just it kind of just relax into the knowing we might miss this walk, and then it's meant to be like that. And so it does his morning routines and everything, and comes to the location where the venue is and everything, and he sees that the cars are left, so he missed the walk, and it's like, okay, well, maybe it's supposed to be that way. And on the sidetrack, night before, he was thinking, or day before, he was thinking there was one participant, her name was Sarah, who he was thinking that I want to meet Sarah, I want to talk to her, because there's something, I just feel that I want to talk to her. And so he enters the house where the event was happening, and who's there? Sarah is there sitting. And it was funny also, Sarah also didn't supposed to be there. He's supposed to be doing something else, but something happened with her, and she's there. And I was like, I stopped rushing. I was doing what I felt to do, and because of that, I missed the walk, but I get to meet Sarah. and so it's like, I got the evidence right here. So I was like, that's perfect. And so that's also my like this advice, or like what you can do, start, because this is a small steps, like even like you go on walking, and perhaps you walk to your workplace, or walk to something that you are familiar with, and you always take the same route, but now when you're walking, or even going to your work site with your car, you used to go with some path, and when you feel like, well, I feel like turning from here, then just do that, but go another route. And I'm sure you might end up like, sometime meeting with someone who you haven't seen for a while, just because you took a different route, or something magical happened, or you witnessed something. And then the other part is be present in a moment and see what's happening around, see the signs, see what's going on all over. And because the thing is that we're so into our roots, we're so into our habits, we're doing everything automatically, and we're not witnessing and seeing the opportunities and the like beauty we have around. And
Yeah.
unless you don't start tap into that part, letting your intuition guide, and then just being open what's available, you don't spot the opportunities, you don't see the new ways, and you don't see the new routes that are actually always available for you. So that's my
Beautiful.
advice right here.
Beautiful. Yeah. Are you creating your life or are you consuming your life? And then can you be the observer? Because you're not the one speaking and you're not the one thinking, you're the one observing that. Yeah. Beautiful. It's been a true honor to reconnect and to hear more. And I think the timing was perfect with that story. 'Cause I was
Yes,
like, oh yeah, that's like gold
it
right
was
there.
it was very, very recent.
Yeah. And
It was
I
literally
happened
just
to
the
see the
beginning of
post
this week.
and I happened to see the post and I've not been on social media very much because I've been a bit unplugged. So I was like, oh yeah, I see what's happening. So I just want to say thank you very much for joining us. I look forward to having you back again. Shay says it's an honor. And I'll make sure that the website, I just posted it up, but we'll get that all underneath along with the Spotify. And stay tuned because I'd like to chat with you after this. But for now, we're going to say goodbye to everybody and look forward to connecting again soon. Final words?
It was a lot of fun for me to join in, and thank you for inviting, and for everyone else, just tap into your intuition and follow your soul. It knows where to lead you. You just have to follow it.
Beautiful, beautiful final words. Words.